Hi Stitchy friends, welcome to Cross My Stitches. My name is Jackie and today is February 2nd, 2024. I can't believe that January is gone already. I'm like, I blinked my eyes and it was over. I'm telling you, the older you get, the faster the time goes. And I did not have a good January. I was sick most of the time. The last time I video was March. The last time I videoed was December 30th when I did a whip parade, and I said I was going to do a finish parade, and then about a week or two later I got the big C again. That would be my third time. And if you've been with me long enough, you know I work in retail. You're going to catch these things, and even people with the shots have caught COVID in our store many times. So it seems like it gets a little easier each time I catch it. But this particular time, even though I only had it, maybe I felt bad 4 days maybe, and just mild temperatures, it was the coughing that got me. I spent 2 weeks coughing, and I could not shoot a video or anything because I would cough in the middle of talking. And so I had to wait until I at least got it under control before I could film and share what I've been working on. But again, it got a little easier. It wasn't as bad. Fevers weren't as bad. It was just the cough that lingered for 2 weeks. And I'm sure I had a mild case of pneumonia again, because every time I get COVID, I get COVID pneumonia. But it wasn't bad enough for me to complain to the doctor to get steroid shots. I just needed to get through it. So I'm glad to be back. I'm sorry I missed everyone for that month. But I have done some stitching, even though I was sick for several days. I did get some stitching in. I have several new starts because I said on my birthday I was going to have 6 new starts for my 60th birthday. And I did do my 6 new starts, although they're probably not the 6 starts that I showed you in December, because I did change out a little bit. And so I can't even remember what I picked in December, but I'm going to show you what I picked ultimately to start on my birthday. And then I've started a few more things because I've had startitis, because I keep seeing wonderful things from other stitchers on Flosstube and on Instagram and on Facebook. And it's horrible. I've got this FOMO all the time. Every time I see something, I'm afraid if I don't get it, that I'm going to miss out on it and I'm not going to be able to find it. So it's like this FOMO thing that I just have to keep doing it. And I promised myself that I was not going to purchase anything else. I have tons of patterns. I have lots of fabric. I've got a wall of floss. And I really don't need anything new. But you're going to see that I have some, I don't like to call it haul. I have some items to add to my collection, because we all know that collecting patterns and stitching are 2 different things. So it is not my haul as much as my collection. I've added to my collection of cross-stitch patterns. And I do weed it out every once in a while, and I give them away or I sell them. I do something with them, because your tastes change. As time goes on, you find that your taste changes, and that something that appealed to you a couple years ago when you bought it may not appeal to you now, and you end up going through that phase. I do try to sell some of those so I have money to pay for anything else that I wanted, which is nice, because then I don't feel like I'm really spending money, because I sold some things, I put some money in my PayPal, and I'll use that to do it. For my birthday, I got 3 Stitch gift cards from my family members, so I definitely already spent that and bought. And my new passion right now is Brenda Gervais. So I'm on this Brenda Gervais kick, and if I'm shaking my camera, I'm sorry, I'll stop leaning on my desk. I'm on this Brenda Gervais kick that I have to have Brenda Gervais. Now, I don't like all of her patterns, but there are a multitude of patterns that I absolutely love. And those are the ones that I aim for to get. And you'll see those in my, what did I just say I was going to call it? My acquisition of my collection, my purchases for my collection. And I did receive some wonderful Stitchy Gifts. I want to share those as well. I have a finish a start and a finish. So that's a SAF, start and finish. I have a multitude of starts, and I have some wool applique to show you. I have other things to show, and so I'm just going to roll with it. And I will tell you that I will be cutting in and out, because that's the other thing. I have been so overwhelmed with the disaster of my room, my craft room, that I feel like I can't do anything in it, which is really sad. I have so many things going at one time, and I can't seem to get anything finished or anything fully finished because I feel so overwhelmed by the mess. So I'm going to try to take some time between today and tomorrow to go through it. And I'm going to have to do it a little at a time because, like I said, it feels overwhelming, and I get where I don't want to come in here and work on anything or do anything because I can't find anything. I put stuff away and then I can't find it, and I don't know. And I have a label gun, you know, a label maker. And I try to label my boxes and stuff in my closet. And I just get lost. Even when it's labeled, I still can't find stuff. I have too much stuff. And we're not talking just cross-stitch stuff. I have stained glass supplies. I have tons of scrapbooking supplies. I have wool applique supplies. I have punch needle supplies. I have cross-stitch supplies. What else? I've started collecting denim because I wanted to make a denim quilt. So I have a denim all over the place. Cut up. Some of it cut up, not cut up. And I have wool clothes that I want to felt and cut up for my wool applique. And I just have too much going on, and it's just scattered throughout here. The desk is absolutely covered. That's why you can't see it, because I've cleared enough of a space around me to show you what I want to show you. But every time I clear this desk off, it doesn't take me 3 to 5 days to have it a total disaster again. So I'm going to try my best to rearrange my room, to try to make it more accommodating, get more storage, and see if I can get everything in its place and labeled so I know what's what, and I feel more comfortable coming in here to do some finishing or make project bags or whatever I want to do, and we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about cross stitch. So I will share my cross stitch first, because that's what everybody's here for. And I do have a finish, and one of my finishes, like I said, I have a start and a finish, was one of my starts for my birthday. And everything's in plastic here, so I apologize. I try to keep it so it doesn't have a glare. And this is Sunshine Berry by Erica Michaels. This was gifted to me by my friend Jennifer Upton. She is on Instagram and YouTube under Upton Stitches or Jennifer Upton on YouTube. And so I've had this for quite a while because she gifted it to me, but I finally finished it, Jennifer. And I did stitch this on a 36 count that I over dyed myself. In fact, it says it's a 36, but I think it's a 32 because it's an even weave. I wrote 36 on it, but that's not right. Yeah, it's a 32 even weave that I over dyed myself, and there it is. Now I chose not to put the words on it, "You Are My Sunshine," because the way they line up, they don't line up properly. And so I decided just to leave them out, but I absolutely love, let me get this folded so you can see it. Look at the little bees right there. The little bee, little bee, little bee up here. Absolutely adorable. So really pleased with how that came out, and that will be a strawberry. And I have a multitude. No, I take that back. I have 5 or 6, not a multitude, 5 or 6 strawberries that I need to get finished. So this will go in the horrendous finish pile that I need to get done. But I'm glad at least I got one of my birthday finishes. One of my birthday starts finished. So I was really happy with that. So let's show you what I have been working on. Mostly my birthday starts. I do have some, I think I have one item that was a previous start before my birthday, a couple of them. And then the rest of them were birthday starts. So I believe the strawberry was one of my original choices that I was going to start for my birthday start. My next one is Turkey Bay, and this is Plum Street. And what brought this on was Kathy at Crafty Cat Stitcher. She's on YouTube and Instagram, and she did this, and I absolutely adored it. It was just absolutely adorable. She did it with the DMC colors. That's what I'm doing, and I just love the little turkeys floating around the boat as it looks like George Washington is looking out for land. That's what it looks like to me. So this is where I'm at with it. I wish I had brought a little board over here. I may have to go get a little board. I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay, so I found something close by, so we'll just use this. And this is where I'm at with it. Nothing's been ironed, sorry, don't have time for that today. And this is where I'm at with Turkey Bay. And you can see I got thread hanging because I am still stitching on it. I was stitching on it last night. And right now, if I can move all my stuff out of the way, Turkey Bay, I have a total of 808 stitches on it, and it is at 13.9% completed. And I have to say that I absolutely, hopefully you can see there you go, see how bright it is, because the light is not too great right now. Even though it's very sunny out, this room is very dark. I absolutely love putting all my patterns in markuprxp. It is an app you can get on either the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. It is a yearly subscription, but I feel like it's really worth it because I love seeing how far I am on my projects. I actually started keeping it a calendar again. Is that a good word for it? A project. I don't know. You know, a happy planner with a calendar and stuff in it that I actually keep track of. I don't know how I got off of that right there, but okay, I digress. Let's go back. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so this is all DMC. This is all DMC, and they're really bright colors, and I really love it. I make my own thread drops. These are all the colors because it is like a fall turkey kind of piece. So you can see there's all the colors, really beautiful. And I make these little thread drops, and I do have a video under my tutorials to show you how to make thread drops on your own so you don't have to keep buying them. This happens to be a little tag punch. I punch a small hole at the top, a bigger hole at the bottom, and that's what I use. And it's just easier for me to just make my own thread drops than to spend money all the time that I could be using for patterns or floss or fabric on thread drops. So that is my second birthday start. And going back to markuprxp, I absolutely love it because I can download, well, first of all, if you have your patterns already in PDF, they're very easy to put into markuprxp. If you do not, then you have to get them made into a PDF. Now, you can do one of two things. It says on the markuprxp site that you can just take a picture and convert the picture. If you can get your picture straight, taken straight on, straight down, and it's clear, it will probably work. I have not tried that because I have a printer that has a scanner on it that can convert my patterns to PDF for me, and then I load them into markuprxp. And what I love is not only that I can enlarge my patterns, highlight my patterns, I can search for my little, I'm sorry people, words have just gotten really difficult since I went through menopause. I could search for little symbols and it'll highlight them all for me. It's just like Pattern Keeper will, but it's a colorful format and I really, really love it. And it's worth the $15 or $20, I can't remember, a year in order to keep my patterns this way. And then I can see how many stitches I've done each day, what percentage I'm at each day, the total percentage I'm at, how many total stitches are in the pattern, all those things that you can see in Pattern Keeper, but it's just a more colorful format, and I think it's a great format. So that's how I keep all my patterns now, so I can see where I'm at with them, and it does encourage me to stitch more, because I can see, oh, I didn't do a lot on that, I'm only at 1.2%. I need to get on, you know, I need to work on that. So, back done with the advertising. I have no affiliation with markuprxp. I've already told them I'm mad at them because if you have an Android device and then you have an Apple device, you have to pay for the subscription twice. It will not convert between the two, which I think is horrible. If you pay for the subscription, you should be able to use it on any platform. And I was very disappointed to know that I couldn't just transfer my patterns from my phone or from my iPad to another device without having, if it's a different type of device. Now, if I have two Androids, it works just fine, or two Apple products, it's just as fine, but I happen to have an Apple phone or Apple iPad and an Android phone. So I can't transfer between them, which stinks, and I told them I wasn't exactly happy about that, but I'm going to keep the Apple product because I use my iPad more often. I did pick up an Android tablet, but I ended up sending it back. I found that it wasn't more or less easier for me. I can just transport my Apple iPad and just, that's fine. I didn't want to take my iPad everywhere because I felt like it was, you know, it was more expensive. I didn't want anything to happen to it. And the Android device was like $50. But I'm like, never mind. I'm just going to do it. If something happens to it, I'll end up getting another one. But anyway, back to what I've been stitching on. So I come up with these little things in my head as I'm talking to you, and I don't want to forget them. I could just drop them. I could just jot them down, and that would help. But let me see. There's a pen. I'll start writing. If I think of something, I'll do it at the end. My next one is a pattern. Let me see if I have a copy of the pattern on my phone. I try to keep pictures on my phone of ones. There it is. Let's make it bigger. This one is a dachshund dog, and it's for my husband. He doesn't know I'm stitching it for him, but he looks just like our little Festus. So I'm stitching that for him. As you might know, I don't remember if I mentioned it last time or not, Festus is going to be 13 this month, and he's always had seizures, but it's once every 5 or 6 months, no big deal. But lately the seizures has gotten a lot worse and real violent. And there's multiple times now that we thought that was it. He was going to die because he was just, it was horrific. It was just so much that we thought, you know, that he was going to pass having the seizures. They take a long time. He actually now, before he would just do the shakes and stuff. Now he just freezes his bowels, his bladder releases. He just freezes, his eyes glaze over, and you're like, that's it. That's it. He's going to pass. But he hasn't yet. But I have seen some effects of these seizures now on him. His perception of distance is really bad. Like before, he would come up to the sofa and want to jump up on it. See, I'm moving away from what I was talking about again. And now he stands like a foot or more from the sofa trying to jump. And we have to stop him because he's just going to hit his face on the sofa and fall off. But we noticed that. I noticed one of his legs is trembling. One of his back legs are kind of slipping out from under him all the time. All these things that neurologically you can see is happening to him. So I don't know how much longer he'll be around with us. There are times he'll have a seizure every single day, and then he'll go several days where he doesn't have a seizure. We've tried different things. We have tried hemp powder, which seems to ease it up a little. We've tried some other things. The only other alternative is the vet in Florida wanted to put him on epileptic seizure medicine, but that medicine has to be given exactly at the same time every day, and because the two of us work and our schedules are off, that we wouldn't be possible because we're not home to give him medication the way we're supposed to. So we have not done that. But this is what I'm working on. These are the colors of it, and this is my ball of messy floss. But if I twirl it, let's see, you can see all the different colors. That's all his coat, and then you have colors with the sweater. So really pretty. And this is where I'm at with it. Again, I didn't iron anything, but I've got I'm working on his sweater on his body. And this is part of a leg right here. But all that other color is his sweater. So I'm hoping to get this done for my husband soon. I need to get busy on it again. But I really love it. The fabric is a 32 count linen that I over dyed myself. It's like a, you can kind of see there's a good shot of it. It's a real pretty brown mottled. And then you can see the sweater. Whoops, I let it go. So really enjoy working on this though, but I can only work on it when he's not around. I do it every once in a while because he has no clue what it is that I'm working on. Sometimes he'll ask me. So I don't work on it too often when he's at home. But that's my third start for my birthday. My fourth one is By the Bay Needle Arts, and this is 13 Colonies, Part 2. I've decided I'm only going to do Part 2, which is the middle design, because I thought it was so cute with the sailboats and the trees and the little island. And it kind of reminds me of my dad, because my dad used to paint all the time, and he would paint sailboats. So I just kind of thought this reminded me of him. So I am doing this, and this is all the pretty floss that is in it. Again, made my own thread drops. And there's a lot of greens, blues, reds, yellows in it. And my wrinkly piece. And I've only got a little bit of it done. And this is a piece of, I thought I had this written down somewhere. Hold on. Nope. This is a piece of, I think this is called Winter Blues. It's of the Stitch Me, I believe. It is a linen, and it's probably a 36 count. Yep, I think it's 36 count Winter Blues by the Stitch Me. And I've got part of the sun completed. And then I'm starting on one of the trees, because the trees in this is very different. They're the patterns, By the Bay Needle Arts patterns are very different. They are very Art Nouveau-ish to me. So I'm going to back it up so you can see the blue. It's really pretty. There we go. And then you can see I've got, this is a tree right here, and then part of the sun started. So I've only worked on this once or twice since my birthday, because I've been working on the Sunshine Berry and the dog. So that was number 4. And I'm going to take it out of its bag because the bag was a gift and I want to show that. Number 5 is a Crosseyed Cricket, the Cricket Collection Spring. Now I started this one once before, and I didn't like the fabric that I was stitching on because I felt like it was too light. So I had to like backstitch around the lighter colors. So I ended up restarting it in a darker blue, and I really do like it now. And it has tons, I mean tons. I have 2 rings of, there's just tons of fabric here. Tons of floss. It's just, there's all the light colors, and then there's another one here. These are all the colors that are in this, right? And these are all full skeins. I just pulled full skeins for it. It's not going to need full skeins, but I did that, and that's like the darker tones. So 2 rings full of it, and I have worked on this several times. And this is what it's looking like. What did I do with that little board I just had? Let's flip this around, and I have to tell you, let me show you first, and then I'll tell you what I want to tell you. So I have the P, the R, and the I on there. You can see the blue. It's a very pretty blue. And I have the PRI, I have the I and the birdhouse. But these here, these sunflowers, they are my favorite. Look how adorable they are. I think they're the most adorable sunflowers. And I love them. They almost look weedy, you know, like the weedy leaves on the bottom. And I've got, right now I'm working on the fence. This is the P, your R, and your I. And I really love working on this. This is an even weave, and it is, oh, it's horrible when I can't remember what things are. I don't remember the name of the blue. It is a Zweigart. I'm almost sure it's a Zweigart. Yeah, it's orange. It's a Zweigart fabric. It is an even weave. It is 32 count, but it is not an over dyed. It's a regular medium type blue, and I can't remember the name of it. Let's hope by the next time I video, I can write down the names of all these fabrics so that we don't have to guess what I'm working on. I know I have it written somewhere, but I'm not going to dig for it right now. So this one was my 5th one, I think. Yep. And then I have one more to go. Put this over here. And my 6th one was Fruit of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. And this one I just stalled on. Okay, it's as simple as that. I'm sure you all have seen this many, many times. There it is. It's a beautiful piece. I love it. I had plans on doing it in reds and tans. That was my plan. I am working on a piece of, I want to say it's 32 even weave. I'm looking. I thought I had a tag on this puppy. Hold on. I'm looking, but apparently not. But I'm almost sure it is a 32 even weave in a cream white, off-white, probably an off-white. And this is as far as I've gotten, was just the start of the border. And I wasn't sure about my colors. I have a very hard time choosing my own colors for things. I'm not going to lie. I can sit and change colors on a pattern because I have an idea of what color they've chose, and then I can kind of guess what I would like in that same tone. But when it comes to picking colors for my own, and this is what I picked. I picked 115, which is the, where is it? It's on here. 115, which is the variegated, right? That's the variegated floss. And then I picked the 3 colors that's in the variegated floss, just to do little accents. And I picked 422 as the tan. And the reason I picked these colors is because it's the colors that are in my rug in my living room. And I wanted to put this in my living room. And you can see this is, if I twirl it, you can kind of see there's all the colors, right? They're all right there. But I don't know where to put the colors. I don't know how to do it. I feel like maybe I should do it on like a 25/1, so it's not as huge. And then I thought about doing it on this, I think this is a 28, doing it on the 28/1 instead of over 2. And then I just kind of said, maybe I don't want the reds and the tans. And I just kept flip-flopping all over the place. And I just stopped. I literally just stopped. So this is on a hold. And I just got frustrated over it. So I didn't quite make 6 new starts for my birthday. I did make a start, but I'm just not sticking to it. So that is like a UFO right now until I can decide what I want with it. I just don't know. I don't feel like it's right to me. And until I feel it's right to me, I don't want to stitch on it. So those were my 6 new starts. And I already forgot, didn't I, to tell you what, what percentage I was on each one. See, so I already loused that up. I'm looking for my notes, which I've lost now. I'm a mess. I'm a hot mess as usual. So, on the Fruits of Plenty, I only did 105 stitches. It was 1.5%. On my spring one, I'm at 21.2% right now. I've done 2,121 stitches. On 13 colonies, I'm at 3.7%. I've done 507 stitches. On the Ducks and Dog, I've done 1,175 stitches. It's at 16.4%. And my Turkey Bay, I've done 808 stitches, and that's at 13.9%. See, I wrote all this stuff down to share, and then I forget. Okay, so what have I done since my birthday? On the 1st of January, I did a new start with my friend Kim, who is Kim TX Stitch Crazy on Instagram. She does not have a floss tube. And we decided to do this owl pattern together. We're starting on the 1st. And it looks like this. And I'm sure several of you have seen this before. I've seen it posted many times on Instagram, not so much on Flosstube, but it is absolutely fabulous. I have done, where's my owl? 402 stitches on it. It's on a 16 count black Aida that is the called for fabric that came in the kit. And I've got a mess here with all wrinkles because you know how Aida is. And I've done 402 stitches, this is 1.2%, and I've got an eye. So I was working my way all the way up so I could get the eyes completed, because I'm like, if I could get those eyes completed, I would be a happy camper to look at those eyes every single time I stitch on this. So I've got the eye. I am using a hoop right now. I don't think I will convert to a scroll rod or anything because I just have a difficult time with it. So I'm just going to stick with my hoop for now and know that I've got 402 stitches on it. I've got an eye, which I'm very happy with. And I will work sometime in the next week to get that other eye in and get the face going. But this is a wonderful project. I'm glad I'm stitching it with my friend Kim. We both happen to have this kit. And she made me this beautiful project bag to put my project in. I absolutely love it. It's got a ceramic owl zipper pull on it, which is really cool. And I am glad to be working on this. Let's see, where am I going to put stuff? Because I'm running out of room where it's not going to slide off the desk. I also started on, let's see, the 10th of January, part 2 of my 12-month floral. Let's see if I have a picture of that. I'm sure many of you have seen that. It is by Ellen Maurer-Stroh. And it is, let's see, do I have a picture? It is on her website. Hold on, let me see if I got it under cross stitch. Oh, come on, I know I have a picture of this. Instagram. Where's my Instagram? I know I have a picture. Right? Hold, please. Because I know I have it. I've taken a picture of this whole design. There it is. Okay, so you've seen Amy Loves Toads has completed this. There's several other people. I think that Stitching Faye has completed this also. Hers is bigger, but I'm doing mine 1/1, and I am on the second one there, which is the African Violets. And this fabric is a white, I think it's a 28 count. It might be 32, but no, it's an even weave. I take that back. It's not a linen, it's an even weave, and I think it's a 28 count. But I had started the African Violet, so that's where I'm at. It doesn't look like a lot, but I have 44% of that completed with 878. Where is it? Hold on. There it is. 44.6% done with 1,203 stitches right now. So the carnation is completely finished. This is the African Violet. I tried to make this my 30-minute stitch a day. I did that for a little bit and then it kind of fell off. I'm not good at keeping plans. So I would like to get back to that. I wish I could stitch this in the car. That would be awesome during lunch, but unfortunately over one I just can't do without a magnifier of some type. So, but I'm glad to be continuing to stitch on that. I'm going to keep working at it because it is from like 2021 and I really would like, right, I think that's what it is. I think it's 2021 is when I started that, and I really need to get some progress on it. So I worked on that, and then I had a new start for Snow Day. I said if we had the first snow day, which was on the 15th, I was going to start Sunflower Snowman, which is a Dimensions kit that was gifted to me from a wonderful stitcher, and I absolutely love this. I am enjoying thoroughly working on it. We did have snow days about a week or so ago. I did not work on it, so I owe it some snow day stitching. And it is on a 16 count Aida. And you'll notice this Aida is not like Kid Aida because I softened it up. So I do have a YouTube tutorial to tell you how to soften Aida. So if you're interested in that, go into my tutorials on my channel and look it up. Shows you how to soften Aida. That was information that was shared with me, and I greatly appreciated it. And this is where I'm at with it. I have done 1,155 stitches. Is at 5.33%, and that is the sunflower that is on the hat. In fact, I think I got it. It goes this way. It does go this way. This is the bird. This is the blue jay that's sitting on the hat. I'll show you the picture again. And that's the center of the sunflower is completely done. I'm working on all those leaves. And like I said, I think I owe it about 2 days worth of stitching where we had little flurries and stuff. So this is what I've completed right now. So I've got this done. This is the tail of the bird. And this is absolutely beautiful. It is a discontinued kit, but I am so loving it. So I started that one. And then I have one more that I started because I was enabled by Dina, the Nightly Stitcher. I was watching her channel, and actually she enabled me on 2 things. But this one I started, the other one I have not. And at first I want to show you all the floss that is involved in this piece. Let me see, do I have a picture of it? I'm sure I do. Give me a second here. It's probably not there. It's probably in my, there it is, right there. Okay, so this is all the beautiful floss colors that is involved in this piece. So it's got greens, purples, reds, blues, but that's not all. Pinks, yellows, white, orange. It's a rainbow of color. And when she showed hers, I knew that I had to start this immediately because I needed this rainbow of color to brighten me when I needed to be brightened. And I am stitching this on a 36 count piece of olive by Bestitch Me. And I have done, let's see, where are we? 878 stitches, 4.4% completed. This is it. It is called A Flower a Day Stitch Along by Carol Manning Designs. And it is just beautiful flowers throughout the whole thing. All different sizes, all different colors. If you haven't seen this stitched up, and she's still working on it, but she's got more than half done, go over to Dina, the Nightly Stitcher, and check out hers. But this is where I'm at with mine. And she's stitching hers on a yellow. I'm stitching mine on an olive green. And this is mine right here. And I absolutely love it. I'm going to pull it back because I want to show the color of the fabric. There we go. And then I'll bring it forward. I love this. It is so bright and cheery, and it's easy just to finish a flower or 2. And like I said, I have 878 stitches in this, 4.4% completed. And I can't put this down. Every time I turn around, I want to pick it up again. And it has a ton of floss, but it is so much fun. And I'm not doing a flower a day. I'm just picking it up when I feel like I need a little pick-me-up. And I stitch on it for a couple hours. So absolutely love that. Now the last thing cross-stitch-wise that I worked on, and I started, this is Mr. Jingles. I started him on October 29, 2021. And he's still not done. He is done on 11 count Aida and 4 strands. And I'm getting close to a finish on him. Well, kind of close. I'm getting close to the bottom. Let's put it that way. I'm getting close to the bottom. He is my car stitch because it's so easy to see 11 count in the car without any issues. And this is where he's at right now, all the way down. I've got his entire sweater done, and I'm starting to work on the snow, or his snow body, on the bottom here. Now, I didn't finish up here. I'm going to outline it, but I don't think I need to finish that because he does have a knit hat on his head. I still have to put a smile on his face, and there's a nose that comes down like this that I took out that I'm going to make in 3D. So I'm going to stitch it separately and then stitch it on so it is a 3D nose coming down, which I think will look awesome. So he has bells that need to be hung on his hand. He will be, and I'll show you the pattern again. He is sitting on a wood base with wood legs, and he is huge. You can see next to my head, he is quite used. It's all 11 count, stitch 4 threads. And it's taken me a while because I put him down and I pick him back up and I put him down. But you can see he has a knit cap on his head, and then he's got bells in his hands, his dowel legs, and then he's got this base, which I have all those pieces to put him together. This was a gift from a stitcher, oh my God, before I even left Florida. So in 2019, and I didn't start him till 2021. And I really would like to make a Mrs. Jingles. Take the same pattern, girly it up, girly colors, and then make a partner for him. But I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon because I'm going to be burnt out from him, stitching him when I get this done and then get it fully finished. But I love him. He is adorable. It's a lot of stitching, but well worth it. I can't wait for him to be on display eventually. So that was my last thing that I worked cross stitch wise. And by the way, this was a full kit that she sent me. It had everything I needed, including the floss to stitch him. So that's everything that I worked on cross stitch related. Let me see if I missed anything. I do have some I'm looking. I do hope that I'm going to eventually start finishing things again. I have a whole pile. In fact, I said I was going to shoot a video of my finishes for 2023. I think I have 34. And I may still do that, but they're mostly unfinished items at this point. I have not done finishing. You know, I was watching Nancy, who is the Disorderly Stitcher, and she talks about she needs to be in the zone to finish. And that's how I feel. When I feel like I'm too cluttered and there's too much stuff around and I can't organize myself, I feel stressed and anxiety over finishing things. I don't know why my glasses keep sliding. So I definitely have to be in the zone to finish, or the zone to create project bags or anything else. And if I can't get in that zone, I just won't mess with it because I will make mistakes. So if you haven't watched Nancy Disorderly Stitcher, she is a teacher. She is awesome to watch. And again, I would encourage you to watch Dina. If you're not watching Dina, the Nightly Stitcher, she has a lot of wonderful stitches. And again, I told you I have something else that she enabled me on. I'll show that during my addition to my collection. I also mentioned about tutorials that I have on my channel. So if you're new or you don't know, there are there are 11 tutorials that I have completed to help you with different things. So there's tutorials on fabric dyeing, on stocking to finish off a Christmas stocking. There is thread drops, how to make thread drops. There is a bee skep that you can do with supplies out of the Dollar Tree. Removing slubs from linen. If you have linen that has lots of thick slubs, I have a video that shows you how to remove those slubs without damaging your fabric, which has been a big one for me because I don't like those big slubs in my stitching, and I will pick them all out. Plus there are others, so please go and check my tutorials. You can go to my channel and go to my playlist, and there's one that says tutorials, and they're in there. Let's share. I'm looking. I'm going to share some of my acquisitions for my collection. I'm going to pause for a minute because I have to move all this stuff and then bring that up. So I'll be back in a second. I knew there was something I wanted to share with you when I was going through all that, and I totally forgot. So I'm going to share that first. And it was when I was talking about this pattern that Dina, the Nightly Stitcher, encouraged me to buy and kit up and work on. It is by Carolyn Manning. You can get it on carolynmanning.com. And she's got multitude of different floral ones. This one happens to be the multi-floral one, which is really beautiful. I know it's kind of looks faded out, but it's not. It's very bright and colorful. And I show you that I was stitching it on the 36 count avocado by Stitch Me. But when I talk about having trouble picking my own colors, picking my own flosses when I have to do a piece like that, this is what happened with this one. And I just wanted to share it because I know there are other people that do this. You are not alone. You are not alone. I originally started stitching this on Into the Veil, Be Stitch Me 13. Into the Veil, Be Stitch Me 16 count Ada was my first choice, and that was my start. And I really didn't like it. You can see the it's got a little bit of a greenish tinge to it. Did not like it on that fabric. So then I started hunting to find a fabric to stitch it on because I really didn't like it. I felt like it just faded out of the way on that fabric. So toss that aside. And then I picked up a 32 count linen with the name Olive that is a Zweigart fabric, and I started stitching on that. I got that far on this fabric. You can see it's an olively green. And I'm like, nope, that is not it. That is not it. Again, tossed to the wayside. And that's when I found this fabric in my stash and ended up stitching on this, which is the perfect, I think is a perfect color for this design. So if that happens to you, don't get discouraged because I just kept looking until I was going to find the right one or I was going to order it. But I did have this in stock, and I do this all the time when I'm changing colors, whether it's fabric colors, whether it's floss colors. If I stitch something, I'll stitch it a little bit, and then if I don't like it, it comes out. I rip it out or I change it. And I'll keep doing that until I find something that I think fits what I'm doing. But it happens to me a lot more than I care to say how many times I rip out stitches and then have to restitch things in different colors because I just don't like what I chose. So don't feel alone if you're that way too. Okay, so I just wanted to share a couple of Stitchy Gifts that I received. And this one is from a stitcher that I let borrow a couple of patterns that I had. It was a series and she was just missing 2 of them. And so I sent the patterns over to her. She stitched them out super quick and sent them back to me in a project bag, which was so sweet. But not only a project bag, and I love snowmen and deer and all that. I love this fabric. I'm not sure if that is fabric. I don't know who that fabric is. I don't think that's Teresa Kogut. I think that's something else. But really adorable, and it's quilted inside. And it comes with the little thread buddy too, thread holder with the bobbins. And of course, I don't use the bobbins, but I will use this and put my thread drops in them, wrap them up and stick them in there when I use this project. Now I am using it right now, but I'm not using this part of it. But I absolutely love that. Look, I mean, it's just impeccably done. I love it. Love the fabric. So it was very sweet of her. Thank you so much. I'm not sure you watch my videos, but I absolutely adore this winter bag. Adore it. The second one came from a viewer. She had contacted me around my birthday and said that she had some fabrics that she was not going to stitch on, and she wanted to gift them to me. And I was just floored when she sent the fabrics. It was so sweet. And I love them, and I definitely want to stitch on every one of them. And I'm going to show them to you, and they are fat halves. They are Be Stitch Me. I think all 3 of them here are Be Stitch Me's. All 3 are Be Stitch Me's, and they are fat halves, and they are 32 count, which I love 32 count. I love anything. You see, I stitch on Ada, I stitch on up to 40 count, even weaves, whatever. But this one here is called Bedrock. It is from the August 2021 Fabric of the Month, and it looks like this. Beautiful fabric. I think I would stitch some smaller pieces on this. I don't think I would stitch anything large on it, but I can see cutting this apart and using it in different projects that needs that darker tone, and I think it would be beautiful. So that is a fat half. And then Scroll, which was a club exclusive. It is July 2021. And I'm sure many of you have seen this. Again, a beautiful neutral, just not her taste. And I can definitely see something going on this. In fact, I might try to do, because I was going to start my Lizzie Kate, what was it called? It was a 3-part series. It was going to be one of my birthday starts. Lizzie Kate. Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, I think it would be beautiful on this because I think it was stitched on ale or something in the picture. But I think this would be beautiful for it. So I have a feeling I'm going to use this for that design, for that Lizzie Kate that I wanted to start. And then the next one is Sand Dollar. This is February 2021 Fabric of the Month. And so beautiful. It's got some blues and some grays. Fat half. Lots of beautiful fabric. And then she sent me a last one, which was a Picture This Plus, because she said she understood how I felt about my fabric that I ordered on Etsy coming out half dyed. So if you watched a few episodes back, I got this pumpkin fabric, and it had the modeling in the top corner, and the rest of it wasn't modeled. And I needed the whole thing to be modeled because I had bought it for a specific pattern. And this one is a Picture This Plus Legacy, 32 count. It is a fat quarter. But what she didn't like was that big bare spot. You see that? It's modeled, and then it's got this huge bare spot in it. And it's more pronounced in person than it is on here. See if I flip it that way. There you can see it really. And so I may try to either over dye this, or I will cut it and use it in smaller sections for whatever I want to stitch, but it's still a beautiful pattern. Again, I'm not going to mention names because I didn't ask, but she knows who she is. Thank you so much for sharing those with me. I absolutely love them all. I've got them all sitting here. They're going to start going into my stash. And like I said, that scroll one, I think I'm going to use that for my Lizzie Kate. I can't remember the name of it. I'll show you next time if I get it pulled out and stuff. And I'm sure I have it kitted up. I just didn't start it because I didn't like the fabric. I think it's going to be this fabric. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. My subscribers are always so sweet and generous, and I love them all. I love you all, each and every one of you, for all your kindness and your support. For liking my channel, for subscribing, for all those things. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, what else have I received? I got my Just Cross Stitch magazine. This is the new quarterly version. It is a little thicker. I'm sure you've seen people show this on their floss tubes. The bunny's really cute. I don't think there was anything in here that I was to die for. I think there was one thing that I said I might want to stitch. And I'm looking here. I like the crosses. I like the hollow spring. I thought there was something that jumped out at me, but it wasn't. Oh, yeah. Okay, so these are all the designs here. And of course, you can get a flip through of this. I'm sure that Carolyn Zook is doing a flip through of this. But the cross one is really pretty. And then there's this one here. I think it's that one. Yep, this is Hello Spring or Summer. But this is a 4-part series right here. Let me see if I can find that bigger picture. And it's hummers and flowers. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is here. It's called Hummingbird Garden. And it comes in, it's going to come once a quarter. And it has 3 parts. So you'll get the first 3 parts in this magazine. You can see it has the hummers. The hummers are, they are charms. You stitch the flowers, the hummers are charms. And this is the whole design here. And you can order the kit for this, the floss. and the charms. Let's see what comes in the kit. I'm sure it tells us here somewhere. Comes with Sullivan floss, so that's what they'll send you, a Sullivan floss. Antique white Joblin, Witchold. Sullivan's floss, 3 hummingbird charms in brass finish, tapestry needle, and let's see, do they say how much it is? I don't see anything, although it says you can order it. And then I thought this was cute too, and I got to cover the pattern here. Hold on. Where's my cardboard? We'll just use this. They did a little, like just a little round in a clock for just a single one. If you didn't want to do a whole stitch along, you could do one and make it a clock. But I'm looking because I swore somebody said there was a kit you could buy, and it was listed in the book. And I'm looking to see where they say it. Maybe it's in the back. But there is a kit you can buy. I was trying to see how much it was and if it was worth purchasing. Yep, just hung the Jeopardy tune while I'm looking. God, I can't believe they don't have it right here. Right with the pattern. Yep, I'm not sure, but it says it's the, oh, here it is. Scan this code to purchase a Hummingbird Garden Materials Kit at anniescraftstore.com while supplies last. And it's got a little QR code right there. So that was the magazine. I was pleasantly surprised that it's got as many patterns in it as it does. Nothing that really overly appeals to me, but still interested to see how it goes forward. I'm going to hold off on that until my wool applique. This is the other pattern that Dina, the Nightly Stitcher, I think it's Dina. Is it Dina? I'm almost sure it is. I don't think it's Nancy. It is Carriage House sampling, the alphabet blocks, the whole kit and caboodle. I mean, absolutely adorable as a kit, as a sampler. And she changed the blocks that the words are in different colors, which I think is originally how they were charted when they were actually single patterns. They weren't always just single patterns. They were single patterns before it ended up being a sampler type piece. And this chart pack contains all 26 letters, the border, and an optional R block. So I picked that up again. It's something I want to kit up, maybe do over one. I got a package of Brenda Gervais patterns from Colorado Cross Stitcher, and of course it's always just adorable. She packs it up nice and neat and sweet, and you gotta love that. I got the Maker and the Mender. This is Brenda Gervais with by Needle and Thread. And I'm getting quite the collection of Brenda Gervais. I need to start some. I may have to start some spring ones. I got At Home, which I absolutely love this one with the deer. And I think the Camping Stitcher, which is, I can't remember. I think she just finished that. And then I just saw this finished on someone's floss tube, although I'm not going to remember who it was. The Light of Winter. Absolutely love those. So I got those 3 from Colorado Cross Stitcher. So absolutely love that. And I always like to save this paper. Maybe I can use it to wrap up something else. So I'm a hoarder of that kind of stuff. So I got that. And that's pretty much it, except for I got my 1, 2, 3. Now I told you I got 3 gift cards for 1, 2, 3. I think it equaled $110, and I wasted no time spending that money because I said I was going to hang on to it, but heck no. So I bought a pair of scissors that are Kai scissors. They're my favorite for wool applique. So I got a smaller pair of needle nose type scissors. I got a Bowen chalk pencil, and it comes as a kit. Also, I got that for my wool applique and for quilting, so I'd have something to mark fabric when I needed to. I got a few of the buttons for my, and I won't even show it, I got a few of the buttons for my Fancy That elves that I needed, so I picked up some more of those. I picked up this pattern, which I didn't have, which is a Merry Mini Surprise from Prairie Schooler. And I wish they'd go back to cardboard. Come on, Hoffman, start doing it in cardboard. We don't like this flimsy paper and plastic. Put them on a heavier cardstock and sell them. But they're adorable. I want to do those. And then I bought some fabric. And this one is 28 count light taupe. It is a Zweigart. And it's a Lugana. And my plans to do with this is, I saw on someone's Flosstube, again, did not write it down, wish I had, that they were doing the Lizzie Kate's, let me show you. Hold on, I'm going to pause you for a second. Okay, sorry about that. If you've ever done a Lizzie Kate snippet, it's really not a snippet. If you stitch these, you realize they are like 6 by 6. So I've done one of these. And it says, it does say it's approximately 6 by 6 inches, 78 by 78, which I made into a stand-up. But I really would like to make them into ornaments. And I saw someone do this, and I thought it was awesome. Stitch them over 1, so they'll be 3 inches instead of 6. So that's what I did. I got this taupe fabric. I'm going to stitch my Lizzie Kates, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 8 of them. 8 of them. That I'm going to do as ornaments over 1 on this light taupe. And I think that will work out great to make them ornaments, make them small enough for ornaments instead of 6 by 6, which are quite large, and one stand-up of 6 by 6 is enough. So then I bought some 25 count fabrics, because again, I want to stitch some 1 over 1. And 25 makes it a little bigger, and I might do some of them on the 25, we'll see, but I have other things that I would like to do over the 25, and mainly would be the Prairie Schooler Santas. Now, I enjoy doing them the size that they are on 36, but I think they would be even smaller. I think they would be adorable on my tree. They're kind of big when you make them the normal 32 or 36 size. They're a good size still, and I want them smaller. I don't want one thing taking up my tree. I want to make them smaller. So I bought a Vintage Country Mocha in a 25 count. I bought a Stormy Night Lugana, 25 count. And then I bought a white 25 count that I could just dye whatever color I wanted to dye it. So that is everything that is stitchy related that I have so far. Now, if you want to hang around and see what I have been doing in my wool applique, then I invite you to stay and see what I've been doing in wool applique. And if not, then I will say goodbye. Thank you so much for visiting with me today, and hope you'll come back again. I hope I can get this done a little sooner than a month, but we will see. And I will see you then. So if you're going to hang around though, hold on, I got a notice popping up on my computer. If you're going to hang around, let me put you on pause for a second so I can bring that out and I can show you what I've been working on. Okay, I'm back. I've had a mini heart attack and I've now come down because I was missing part of one of my wool projects that I wanted to show, and I could not find it. And I was just going nutso looking for it. And I thought I threw it away. I thought they didn't send it. I was about to send an email to the group to find out if it's possible that it wasn't in the package. And then, of course, I found it. So, okay. So I have been working on this project, which is quite huge. And it is from a Facebook group called, let me see, it's Wool Applique. They're the ones that started it, but it is a special group just for this pattern. I'm trying to think. I think that's where I learned about it, from the group called Wool Applique. And then we have one that's called the Gingerbread Bake Shop Sal, which is a private group for the people that bought this pattern. But it's in sections and it is a mystery. So we only know about whatever parts that are sent to us at the time. This was part 1, and I've showed this before. Right? It is a lot of stitching in this piece. A lot. It is a huge piece. And I'm still not done with part 1. And I've already received part 3. So I need to spend some time on this weekend. Although I did put more stitching in on it. So I want to share what I have done. I haven't finished it. I need to get busy with this puppy because it is huge. And this is what it looks like. Let me back up. There it is. So I have put in, let's see. I put in the silver stitches. You can see them around the white. I still have a lot of stitching to put in this. And I really need to spend the time to get it done. Because we're in part 3 right now and I still haven't gotten this done. So, but I am loving this. This is so fun. Right? I just need to spend more time stitching. Less stitching on my cross stitch and more stitching on this to get it caught up. So that is part 1 and I'm still working on it. Part 2 is the sign, Gingerbread Bake Shop. This is what it looks like. And the only thing I've done on part 2 is I have cut out all the shapes. So I have the letters cut out, I have the circles cut out, I'm pulling them all out here. My gingerbread men all cut out. That's a piece of scrap. And so I'm ready to fuse it onto the piece I need to fuse it on in order to start the stitching. But I don't want to fuse it on there until I finish part 1. I don't mind having these prepped up for the next part and having them ready to fuse on and stitch, but I don't want to start stitching on or anything else or fuse them on until I get to that part. So you can see it's a little crinkly, sorry. This is the fabric to part 2. There's the rickrack, there's the white, it looks like a board. You can see it looks like whitewash board. That is the main, as you can see, that is the main part here, and then it has this trim all the way around, which is the brown and the rickrack and the circles, gingerbread men and all the words, and then there's a lot of applique in here, stitching applique. So that's part 2, and I haven't done anything except cut that out. Part 3 just arrived, and that is, block 3 is a train, which is adorable. You can see that there's buttons for the tires, there's different things. It is just adorable, adorable. And it came with all its wool and the fabric. That's the backing fabric there. There's all the wool. You can see all the little buttons that go in it. And then it has a bunch of wool applique stitches. That's part 3. And part 4 will ship out at the 20th of June, or the 20th of February. So I still need to get somewhere with this before the next one ships out. So I need to spend some time working on that. And it also had bonus pieces. So I've showed this before. This is bonus part 1, and these you got if you ordered the kit from them. If you didn't pay for just the patterns and you got the entire kit, which I did, you got a little bonus one. So this is the first one, and I've showed this before. And this is as far as I've got with it. I still need to get the white frosting around the gingerbread and their faces in. There's some buttons that go down, beads, and beads for their eyes. So I need to get that done. And then part 2, you can see they added some wool felt here, and then there's homespun around it. So not much stitching to part 2. If I get part 1 done, then part 2 will be a snap, because there it is. There's the fabrics and everything else. And then part 3 is a separate part. They don't tell us what we're doing with it yet. But it is, again, a piece of homespun with a heart with some lace. Not a ton of stitching on this one. And there's the kit to go with it. So these I should be able to get caught up pretty quick, the mini ones, if I just put my mind to it and get stitching on it. But the big one, that's going to take a lot of time. I actually put a pillow on my lap, I lay it across my lap, and I work on it. And I'm going to work on it again this afternoon because I need to get it done so I can move on to part 2. It's going to be a huge quilt, wall hanging, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be huge. The only other thing, and I can't remember if I showed this or not, if you're into wool applique or into applique at all, Sue Spargo puts out a creative stitching book. I think I showed this before, I'm not sure. And it has fabulous directions on how to do stitches. See if I can find one that has, you know, it shows this just direct picture by picture by picture how to make the stitch. And I resort to this every single time because I don't know how to do applique stitches. I am learning. So love this. And then I got this book off of, I lost one of my dots. I think that went in part 2. Hold on. I got this book on Walmart.com. It was it's usually $25. I think I paid like $14 from it. Yeah, $27.95. I think I paid like $14 for it. And it is jingle all the way, and it has little ornaments you can make out of wool applique. So I am really loving wool applique. It is much faster than cross stitching, a lot less stitching, and it's just fun. There's different stitches, and I enjoy doing it. That big piece is being difficult. I also started this one over at the wool applique group. They have they do a monthlies, and they do freebie monthlies, freebie patterns, and of course then you can buy the kits from the person who created the patterns. And I got this one. This is a monthly one. This is by hold on, it tells me here, Debbie Busby. Debbie Busby. She's the Wooden Spool Designs. And this one is a Valentine one. This was the January one. It's a Valentine. And this little thing has kicked my butt. Because I just can't get it right. So this is the first one I started. Which you say, yeah, what's wrong with that? It looks awesome. It's got the stitching in it. I just got to put the beads in it. Well, it's supposed to have the black. You can see I ripped everything off. It's supposed to have the black sticking out around it, like this one here. But I couldn't get it to lay right. So I ended up cutting it flush with this one. I'm just going to do a whip stitch, you know, a blanket stitch all the way around it, and it's going to be done. But I decided I was going to do it again. And this is my second one with the black around it. Again, not totally happy with it, but I'm going with it. I'm going to make this a hanging ornament. I'm going to put a ribbon or something on it. I still have to put the beads on it. It has a bow and a key. So I'm going to have 2 of them, but I'm going to get those done because the middle of this month, another pattern will come out. They come out on the 15th. One of them comes out on the 1st, and the other one is called Pumps and Petals, I think. It's a block a month with a pump with floral in it. And it wasn't my taste, so I didn't choose to do that one. I could choose to do it, but I chose not to. I think I was going to go with these patterns to see where she goes with these little ones. If she's going to have a change out on this board every month, you can do the February up here. I didn't do that. I just wanted to do the little ornament. So that is everything that I have been working on between my wool applique and my cross stitch and that. I told you about markuprxp. I told you about my tutorials. The other thing I wanted to tell you is I told you I have a classic happy planner and trying to figure out how I was going to keep track of all my stuff. Well, this is how I decided to do it. I purchased a downloadable calendar from Etsy that is a little different. And see on this one, and you can interchange the words and everything on this. This one says January, but it didn't say finishes here. So you can see mine says finishes, and then it says whips, and then the dailies are like this, where I can actually write out what I'm working on and the count. You know, I have enough room to write multiples. So I can write what I worked on, how many stitches I did, and then up here is like my new starts, how many stitches I did on the 31st, because that's January 1st. And so that's how I decided to do this. So I have every month set up, to try to give myself a little room to keep track of things. I'm hoping this will work because I tried a regular just calendar page and there wasn't enough room for me to write what I wanted. So I found that on Etsy. There's plenty of Etsy shops that will help you get calendar pages and stuff for whatever size planner you have. So they are awesome. And I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. I need to do a giveaway. I'm going to not do it today because I'm way over on time. Next video, I'll have less to show, and then we'll talk about, I'm going to do some giveaways. I'm going to do at least 2 or 3 giveaways because I have stuff that I would like to pass on to others. So hopefully I'll get to that the next time. If I don't, remind me not to forget to do that. Thank you so much for visiting with me today and spending some time with me in my crafty room. I hope you all are getting lots of crafting done and everybody is well. And I will see you, if not in 2 weeks, at the end of February. So we'll see. I'll try to do 2 weeks. So you take care. Bye.